Thank you. Well, it's my pleasure to be back in central New York. The sun is shining. Had cool, but the sun is shining. Pleasure to be in Solvay. We had a great tour this morning, as you heard, going through Solvay, understanding some of the history, some of the challenges, and some of the promise in Solvay. And I was joined by a great group of elected officials who you've heard from this morning. First, Mayor Benedetti, I want to thank him very much for his assistance. I called Saturday morning. I want to talk to Mayor Benedetti, so I figured I'd let me try the office. I called the office, and phones answered. Hello, Mayor Benedetti. I said, Mayor, this is Governor Cuomo. What are you doing on a Saturday morning, working and answering the phone yourself? He said, what are you doing, calling on a Saturday morning? Mayor Benedetti, thank you for your leadership and everything. Supervisor Manny Falcone, glad to hear you got a new t-shirt. Let's give him a round of applause. Chairman Ryan McMahon, who was a really impressive fellow, came down and gave a great presentation with the county executive on this project, and really is what public office is all about. It's great to see young leadership coming in. Ryan McMahon, pleasure to be with you. Your Assemblyman, Bill Nagarelli, I've known for many years. He's a great assemblyman for the district. He represents the district extraordinarily well. What you may not know is he is one of the respected leaders statewide, and his voice in the assembly, when Bill speaks, people listen. And he's been a great friend to me and a great advisor to me. It's a pleasure to be with him. Bill Nagarelli. To your county executive, who you heard go through the project, which is really inspiring and I think visionary, and I'm proud to be a part of it on behalf of the state. But the county executive has done extraordinary service once again. I think to be in government service now, it's really about two skill sets. One, the ability to bring people together, and two, the ability to actually get things done, make things happen. And the county executive is both of those things. She can bring people together, she can get past the differences, and she can actually make government work and get things done. We've talked about a lot of projects, we had a lot of ideas. This project has been talked about for 20 years. The challenge is to make things happen. And this county executive is making things happen. And let's give her a big round of applause. Well, this is so exciting, and as you heard from the previous speakers, the story of Solvay is the story of Syracuse, it's the story of upstate New York. It is a story of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It's a story that says we were at one time a great manufacturing state, great manufacturing cities, great manufacturing region. This region built not just this state, but it built the nation. Solvay was about salt processing, Syracuse was about steel mills, we were about the Erie Canal, a great visionary, talk about economic development project that changed not just the state, changed the nation. 1817, when they first proposed the Erie Canal, they said the governor was literally insane for proposing such an ambitious project, believe it or not. And it turned out to make the future of New York and open up the future for the United States of America. And that then drove upstate New York, and that's what made upstate New York the manufacturing capital that it is. We're along the Erie Canal, made New York City what New York City was. You know, New York City, they believe everybody came to New York City. They came to New York City because they were going up the Hudson to the Erie Canal. That's why they came to New York City. So that's what we did. We made things. We built things. We took raw material, fashioned it into steel, took the steel, fashioned it into products. And we did that for decades. And that drove a great economy in this state. It made this state the #1 state in the nation. And then that economy stopped. The manufacturing economy stopped. The industrial economy stopped. We came to another decision that said those types of jobs were overseas, that we couldn't compete with the cost of manufacturing. And almost like a light switch, you saw that manufacturing economy dwindle down. And we lost jobs when that economy slowed, and we lost our economic raison d'etre. Not only did we lose the jobs and lose the development, but then we had an additional problem because we had the stain of the manufacturing era. And we had all the residue of the manufacturing era. And we had to clean that up. Brownfields, just the manufacturing era residue. Lake Onondaga, the manufacturing era residue. We were building so fast, and we were so ambitious and so aggressive in what we were building, that we weren't really thinking about the environment. We weren't really thinking about the aftermath, and we had to dump excess material and dump the residue, and we did. And then this state had to suffer through that cleanup, which was very hard and very expensive and very long. And that was a difficult period for the state. At the same period of time, New York State was very expensive and getting more and more expensive. Highest taxes in the United States, state of New York. Highest taxes in the state of New York. Here's my great economic forecast. You do not have a rosy economic future if you are the tax capital of the nation. Why? Because people are smart, that's why. And because people are mobile. And if you're the highest tax place, people will leave. They can get on a plane, they will leave. And we saw that in upstate New York. Year after year after year. Young people leaving. Why? Because they wanted to know. They didn't want to leave. This is their home. This is New York. They had to leave. They had to leave to get a job. They had to leave because they couldn't afford the taxes. And that compounded the problem that we had. And we suffered mightily. But as you've also heard, today is a new day. And you can see it, and you can feel it, and it's everywhere you look. This project is just the cherry on the cake, saying it's a new day. That Lake Onondaga is as clean as it is, as quickly as it is. Assemblyman Magdarelli said on the tour, I never thought I would see the day that the lake would actually become such an asset to the region. The lake is clean. Property taxes in the state of New York are going to come down. We're working on it this year. We have a new attitude about government. We get it finally. The state government gets it finally. We cut income taxes in the state of New York last year. Middle class, up to $300,000 in income, which is a big middle class. Up to $300,000 in income. The lowest income tax rate in 60 years. That's what it's about. We understand that we have to get the cost of government under control. The county executive gets it. The county executive is working with the city of Syracuse, saying we have too many governments. Everyone is doing everything. How do we get the cost down? How do we share services? How do we find out how to cooperate to reduce the size and the cost of government? And this project hits it exactly right. We need jobs, we need businesses, we need the locations for the businesses to come. This is clearing acres and acres of open land, saying to businesses, we're ready for you to come. The site is clean, it has the infrastructure, we have the power, we have the water and sewer. We are open for business, and we want you to come. We're going to put this together with another state program we just started called Startup New York. Startup New York is very simple. You know what it says? If you move to this area, you pay 0 taxes for 10 years. 0 taxes for 10 years. Why did we lose all those businesses because of the high taxes? We're going to do the exact opposite. And we're going to offer them no tax zones if they'll come back and they'll bring the jobs. Because if we have the jobs here, then we have everything. If we're generating jobs and we're generating income, then those people are paying taxes. The mayor's happy, the supervisor's happy, the county executive's happy, even I'm happy. And as you heard from the county executive, it's hard to make me happy. So that's what this project is going to do. We got unemployment numbers that came out yesterday that show great promise, but especially in upstate New York. And we have, as you heard from the Assemblyman, we have been focusing like a laser on the upstate economy. Because in truth, upstate New York hasn't gotten enough help from Albany for too long. And we're reversing that. And to see those new unemployment numbers come out and see great progress in job development in upstate New York, that is really good news. So, it is a new day, and the arrows are pointing up. And my last point is, congratulations to you, because you did it. You did it. There is, first, no place in this country like this great state of New York. No place can fundamentally compete with who we are and what we have. I spent 8 years in Washington. I worked all across the country. I worked in every state. And there's some nice states. But there's no state like this great state of New York. No one has anything. And the best thing that New York has is New Yorkers. And congratulations to you, because you didn't give up. And you made today possible. And you said Salve is my home, and Geddes is my home, and Syracuse is my home, and Central New York is my home, and I'm not leaving. And I'm going to make this place a better place. That a fundamental responsibility for us as parents and citizens is to leave this place better for our children than we found it. And our home is New York, and your home is Salve, and it's Central New York, and it is going to be better for the next generation than it was for us. And as you're making progress here today, let that be the legacy that you leave behind. It's my pleasure to be part of it. Thank you, and God bless.
That now concludes the program for today. Thank you everyone here for coming and welcoming our governor. Thank you.